Hi, guys. I don't really have a long intro today because I really have a lot that I need to go ahead and get off my mind as far as um, what women put up with. Like, you guys put up with a lot. And I had a really long, detailed conversation today about women having self worth. Okay. Now, we all know that how can I even start this? I don't even know where to begin. Okay, so we all know that we accept a lot of toxic things in our relationships, but also I know that there are no perfect relationships out there. But a lot of the things that women complain about men doing, you caused that. And let me explain. You guys basically, we all know what a man is supposed to do. And we're not going to go there with, oh, you're taking us back to the 19 fucking or 1800s. Okay, no, that's not what I'm saying. But as a man, okay, this is anybody. This is in nature. This is found in nature. This is with anybody. The male is the head. You're physically stronger. Okay. 9 times out of 10, the wife is the one that really runs the motherfucking household. If you really want, if you really, I mean, that's just how I saw. Like, yes, the man goes out there and makes money. He protects you. You're supposed to feel safe around him. So when I see you guys literally putting up with men just because they have a penis, and then you get upset when he doesn't have the tools to be a husband or a boyfriend or whatever the fuck he's trying to be, right? And you don't require anything from them. So I was talking to my friend, and she was saying that she's never now she has a lot of kids. Okay, I ain't gonna put her out there, but she got a lot of kids, and she's been in a lot of relationships. Okay, and she literally told me we're both the same age. Okay, she's 38, I'm 38. We went to school together, and she told me she had never gotten anything for Valentine's Day, right? But I know that she's been in relationships, but you've never gotten anything for Valentine's Day. Like, you've been in all these relationships and nobody has thought enough of you to go. And she's like, well, I really didn't trip. I really didn't. I'm like, okay, but you gift people all the time. Like, you always have done that. So why don't they feel the need to return the favor? And then she's just like, well, I really don't care. I'm like, that's why. I'm like, you really can't be upset when you don't require much. You don't require much. Now, she's been my friend for years. We can talk to each other like this. Okay. Sometimes you might have to, come at people with different angles, but I know her. She's basically family. No, you gonna listen to this. Okay. So, and I'm just like, but so have you ever thought? I'm like, so how does that make you feel? Like, I don't even really, I'm not hard up on holidays and stuff like that. I definitely don't think you should be out here going broke. Honestly, what I got for Valentine's Day, my husband got me some weed. And what did I have him get me? Some weed. Oh, and like 12 long stem roses because I love roses. But like, yeah, I was like, you don't have to give me no chocolates because I don't really have a sweet tooth like that. You ain't got to do all that. You know what I mean? Like, we show each other love all the time. I know you love me. Like, fuck this day. We don't got to pay these white people just because they put this out here. Like, no, we're not doing that. So, but at the same time, like, when she told me she had never gotten anything, and I'm like, that speaks volumes. That's basically, and I was like, and then she was talking about buying this dude a fit. And I was like, oh, where your fit at? She's like, what? I'm like, where's your fit? He must have got you one, right? She's like, no. I'm like, oh, then what the hell? I'm not saying you should never buy your man anything because I just bought my husband a very expensive watch. Okay. But he deserves it. He actually deserves my submission. Has it always been that way? No. We bumped heads. We even broke up for 2 whole years because I would not allow certain things. I've never been cheated on, but gambling was an issue for us. Okay. So, yeah, I had to put, him aside to take care of myself. So I don't understand what y'all are talking about, but for a long time I put up with that because I just didn't want to be at the house by myself. And even though I had kids, y'all know what we mean. Like, we're not alone technically, no, but another adult. You know what I mean? But then at the same time, you don't want hella people around your kids, at least not me. Now, a lot of you females don't give a damn. And that's why we be having these news stories that I'm sick of seeing about these children being harmed and abused because you couldn't sit down for 5 minutes and be a mother because you were too busy trying to have a man. Let's get that right. Okay. Now, both parties need to take accountability. Okay. Now, the man's, I don't care. I don't care. You can call me old fashioned. I don't give a damn because I'm raising my daughters the same way. First of all, it's so much stuff I want to say. Like, it's just all trying to come out of my mouth at the same time. So, look, teach your daughters to have their own. Okay. Because this our last generation, and I love them to death. Okay, we not gonna say we don't love them because we love them, but they didn't teach us nothing we needed to know. So now we have a bunch of adults, because we're no longer children, okay, that are running the world and out here in society as citizens, acting, you know on our traumas, on shit that we haven't even dealt with. So it's like the last generation never taught us anything about self-love. The last generation, you a break, you tired, you depressed, stop. Stop doing that, because what you're doing is you're creating mentally ill human beings and then you just push them out into the world for the rest of us to deal with. And that's not fair to the child or us. You know? No, we don't have a guidebook on parenting, but you have a sense of what's right and what's wrong. And even before we get to parenting, I'm talking to women. This is for the women because y'all pissing me off with this. I've been to come on here a week ago and say this because for some reason y'all think abortion is birth control. Okay? Now, myself, I ain't got nothing to do with what you do with your body, okay? But stop getting pregnant when there's ways to prevent getting pregnant, or you could just not have sex. Did you ever think of that? Because I think the only exception is if it was a rape or something. That's the only exception, or like incest or something like that. You know what I mean? That's the only exception. Okay, look, I'm not going to do this. I'm not. And then even still, you take your ass down there early and do that. You don't wait. And like, y'all are so selfish. Everybody's just like, oh, you don't want the baby? Abort it. Yeah, just go down there and get an just get an abortion. Nobody's telling the bitch not to get pregnant. That's an option. Okay. Now, if you were forced, that's different. Or, there's certain circumstances, okay. But no. Stop just telling girls to go down there and get abortions. That ain't cool. So you bringing souls into this world for nothing. Like, that's not a form of birth control. How about your dumb ass sit down somewhere, pleasure yourself, or get on some freaking birth control and stick with it. Like, you ain't gotta have sex. That's not a necessity. That's not food or water, bitch. The fuck are Stop it. Like, y'all look ratchet up there, so proud to kill y'all babies. Like, it's sick. Like, for real. Like real shit. But anyways, that's on a whole nother topic. But these women coddle these men. They don't require you to do anything. You just physically have to be in the house. Y'all put up with y'all will go to work, let the nigga drive your car. You know what I'm saying? Like real Jody and Yvette shit, and then be hella mad when he don't respect you. Like you think he don't know he running over you? Just like a child. A child knows when they're pushing the envelope. A child knows. That grown ass man know what is going on, but he also knows what you'll put up with. Okay? Like sometimes, no, not sometimes, all the time. It goes back to self love, your self esteem. And then for the most part, what I've noticed is people just have a hard time sitting by themselves in silence. People have a hard time doing that, you know? So you're constantly gravitating to somebody else. You don't even know who you are. Then you want a man, so you're just like, oh God, I just need a man. I don't care. He doesn't have to provide. Oh, I can. Oh, I got it. Oh, I got it. Oh, I got it. And then you broken in poverty while he's comfortable kicking back on your couch. You don't hold him accountable for nothing. And then if you screw the ketchup back on wrong, he gonna flash on you because he doesn't respect you. Okay? Like for real, like women, y'all need to stop for a second and just love your damn self. Because if somebody does something to me, or even if my husband hurt my feelings, I'll be looking at him sideways like, what? What did you say? Because I care about me. You're not gonna do that to me. You feel what I'm saying? And that's how you should feel. You know? And then like my friend, like she's showing me a picture of when some dude decked her in her face. And she was like, not giggling about it, but she just kind of like nonchalantly talked about it and blew it off. And I'm like, that should make you angry. That should make you mad. That should make you just as mad as if somebody puts their hands on your kids. For real. That should make you just as mad. It's like we don't, and I think it all goes back to the older generation because they taught us like you don't need nothing. Like my mom, I love her to death. That's my best friend. I kill and die for her. Really will. But her generation taught us that mothers don't need a break. You're tired, you're depressed. Okay, have your little moment and get the hell up. And then basically everybody in my family at the time was on antidepressants. Right? Because we're not allowed to basically feel fucking feelings. Like we're not allowed to feel it because we have children, right? Which isn't doing your children any favors. Okay? And I respectfully told my mom, like, I've never gotten my mom crazy. Like, I know I be telling y'all stuff, but that's just because I be in the moment when I'm talking. But I've never come at her like disrespectfully. And plus, I'm still scared of that lady. I'm still scared of her. Okay, I'm bisexual and I'm 38 and she don't even know. Okay, like yeah. So, but I had to tell her, I'm like, Mom, that didn't do anything for us. Like, we are emotionally uh damaged because we're not allowed to feel feelings. And then like sometimes like even as a child, like when people would try to get sentimental or try to be like, oh, what's wrong? Like it would make me feel weird. You know what I mean? Because somebody was actually paying me attention. Like I don't want to say paying me attention because my parents paid me attention. Like they fed me. I know they loved me, but if it wasn't about the Kingdom Hall or Jehovah, it didn't matter. So I felt like they really didn't know me. So when somebody was really trying to get to know me, it felt out of place. You know, anyways, whatever. We're not talking about that. Basically, the older generation didn't teach us anything about self love. Okay. Because when you look at most of these situations that these women are in, it's because they don't love themselves. Okay. And like 9 times out of 10, when you tell them that, they're going to be like, yes, I do. I love myself. I take care of myself. That's going to be the cliche answer that they give, but they haven't done their shadow work. And I really had to break it down and I had to come home and talk about it because this topic has come up like 4 times in the last like 2 weeks. And I just got out the shower and I just laid down and I'm like, no, like I gotta get this out because like we're not gonna sit here and act like both parties, men and women in the black community, need to pull their big girl panties and big boy draws up because it's not just one sided. The men need to grow the fuck up because you want to be treated like kings, but you have nothing to offer. You have nothing to offer, literally. But you want to have wives, you want to have wives, okay, plural. Y'all don't got two dimes to rub together, but y'all want to have multiple wives because you just think it's an orgy all day. Like you can't provide for one of these motherfuckers. Like, what are you gonna do with four? It's like, now, not all men, but I'm not going to keep saying that either, because if this doesn't fit you, you should already know who I'm talking about. The only hit dogs that's going to holla is the ones that are doing the fuck shit. They going to weed themselves out in the comments anyway. They going to reveal themselves anyway. So I don't even give a damn. I'm going to let them say what they say too, because it makes you look like the dipshit, not me. So men need to grow the fuck up. You guys need to realize that y'all need to hold y'all homeboys accountable when they're not taking care of their kids. Y'all need to hold y'all homeboys accountable when they doing foul shit to the black woman that they've impregnated or have kids by. You know what I mean? Like, you be disrespecting somebody else's daughter, but then when somebody go upside your mama head, you want to call, like, no, it goes both ways. And when you're beating up on that woman or you're doing that to that woman, you should see your daughter or your sister or your mother's face. And the fact that you don't is a problem. And for the most part, we don't, if you want to date outside of your race, honestly, we don't care. We don't care because 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to say all. Okay, this is my channel. Okay, look, y'all got a couple more videos of me being nice because I'm really gonna let y'all have it. But the the men need to grow up and take accountability because you don't have anything for us to submit to at this point. There's really nothing. And then y'all talk down on, black women, black girls. You talk about their hair, you talk about how they look, you know, and it's really a form of self-hate because y'all look like us. We look like each other. I remember one time my black ass cousin, this nigga is as black as my purse, okay? And he has a beautiful Mexican and Samoan wife or whatever. She's beautiful, right? And I like her. And this is when I was on Facebook. I'm not on there no more. But somebody had said, what's better than a black and Mexican woman, or what's better than something? And he was like, Mexican and Samoan, right? And I know it's minor, it's stupid, but I don't know why that stuck in my head, because maybe because he looks the way he does and his mom is just as dark. Why wouldn't the first thing be like what your mom looks like? Why is the first thing to do is to praise somebody that looks absolutely nothing like you? So is that why you had kids by her? Because you didn't want your kids to be too dark? Because, that sent me thinking in that direction. Mhm. So black men already have issues as far as identity crises and things like that. And I feel like um, I'm not going to cater. I mean, I don't have to. I have a husband, and thank God he's nothing like these dust buckets. But don't get me wrong, we done been through some stuff. But as far as disrespecting me, cheating on me, having me out here looking stupid, no. Like y'all put up with a lot of stuff. And we've been together for 20 years. 18 technically, because we broke up for 2. But yeah. And even still, if he was to do some foul, fucked up, off the wall shit, I would leave him today. Because my self-esteem is still there. Do you see what I'm saying? That should never, nobody becomes before that. All this shit can be prevented if you just loved yourself. Did you ever think of that? Did you ever think to love yourself? But you can't sit still for 5 minutes by yourself. You got to have somebody over. Oh God, I don't want to be here by myself. So you call over anybody. You know, you don't really want to know what's really bad about him because you want him around. You don't want anything bad. You don't want him to have anything messed up with him. So you just overlook everything. 9 times out of 10, y'all don't even introduce y'all kids to these dudes. He just live here now. What? No. No. And then stop cashing out on these niggas. If you can't call him in case of an emergency, if you stranded or over in a ditch somewhere and he not on his way to you, if you can't call him for nothing, and I'm not saying because, you know, dudes will try to flip it like, oh, what you trying to do? Tell these women to be gold diggers? No. But show ass shouldn't be going over to no grown ass woman's house empty handed either. Like, what? And then I was on TikTok, and then these dudes, it was something about the guy was trying to make the girl pay for the dinner. And so at that point, I'm like, nigga, you couldn't afford to go to dinner. And that's that. Like y'all be pulling the most dustiest shit off. And there's one female out there that's gonna accept it all. And that just gets on my nerves. It's like sitting there listening to my friends today talk about their dudes, and they're literally going through the same fucking thing, just disrespect, lies, like nothing good. Okay. Like I'm like, damn, you can't even make a list of pros and cons about this nigga because there's no pros. Like, what are you getting out of it besides a nut? Like, what? Seriously, let's talk. What are you getting out of it? And then when you ask them that, it's like their eyes just roll in their heads like marbles. Like, damn, what am I? Like, literally, like my cousin married my friend. She had all her stuff together. And I told her, I love my cousin. I love him to death. That's my favorite cousin. You know how you got that one cousin that you went through everything with? That was my cousin. I still love him, right? But a relationship? Oh no. No, honey. Mm-mm. And I told her that. But she married him because, you know, I guess you guys think, oh, I'll change him. Oh, he's never had anybody like me. Girl, I've watched him fuck over some pretty good women. They all buy him cars. They all got good jobs, got their own place. I mean, he knows how to find good women. But then the ones that he really wants to kick it with and be in the streets with are the ratchet ones that act nothing like you. You know why? Because she doesn't require shit. She doesn't require bills and, you know, all that. And then she was like, yeah, every time he would get paid, it was like he would start an argument with me, um, just so he wouldn't have to pay. I'm like, that's exactly what the fuck he was doing. I was like, oh, you thought, girl, you should have called me. Yeah, it's exactly what the fuck he's doing. Like, I told you he was going to do this. But it's like, y'all have this, like, not to me, and then be sitting there with egg on your face when he does you just like that or worse. I mean, my cousin went so far as to marry a bitch, okay? And do you know they was on the verge of annulment? What, a week later? I think he cheated on her the night before. Like, come on. Like, and literally, we could be sitting there telling y'all, but the desperation be so thick. The desperation be so thick that y'all don't hear nothing. Like y'all just be womp, 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 womp. All y'all hear is Charlie Brown because you want that nigga to act right. And no matter what you do, no matter what you buy, no matter what you wear, how you cook his food, how you ride him, he don't want you because you require too much. You require him to be a man. That's why he starts arguments with you and then goes off and kicks it with the loser bitches who only just want to smoke a couple blunts. You know what I mean? They don't need nothing, just a blunt. He gonna smoke that anyway. Oh, you want me to come over here and pay bills and be responsible and shit? Oh no. But and then it's like once y'all realize that he's not gonna do that, y'all keep him anyway. Y'all be like, oh well, he's been here all this time. Might as well. Like, no. Like I really have a friend and she is so fucking hard headed. And I understand some people need to learn on their own. But honestly, if I feel like you're giving me good advice, you've never told me anything wrong, and it sounds like it could be legit, I'm gonna heed. I'm at least gonna be like, okay, I'll think about it, or I'll look at, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, no, no, because literally, like, I think 2 days before she was about to marry my cousin, I looked over at her because she came to pick me up. And I was sitting in the passenger seat and we were turning to go down the street to my house, right? So before I got out of the car, I turned and I looked at her and she was like, what? I was like, are you absolutely sure that you want to do this? Right? And she's like, yeah, I love him. And I think he's changed. And, yeah, yeah. So, yeah. And as we speak, I think he's at some other broad's house. I don't even know where he's at right now. Okay. But yeah, that's basically all I really wanted to touch on. Um, y'all, it's a real, it's self-esteem is at an all-time low. And I'm not a coddler. I'm not finna coddle you. Okay. I have a 6-year-old. I coddle her. Okay. Literally. But even she doesn't get away with half the shit these niggas get away with. Okay. So, and the older, sometimes y'all older women, like the older generation, like y'all talk shit about the younger generations, but y'all don't have a solution. And then I was listening to a podcast earlier, and this lady gonna get up there talking about, yeah, we need to, people aren't getting married no more, and whoopie whoop whoop whoop. But y'all sitting there acting like people back in the day, just because they was married, wasn't doing foul ass shit. The only difference is the women leave the men now because we can make our own money. The only reason they was staying with them trifling ass niggas is because they had 10, 11, 12, 13 kids. Where I'm gonna go with all these kids, and he's the only one making bread? What I'm gonna do? It's not like that no more. And then this argument with the welfare, talking about, oh well, women took welfare and kicked the man out of the home. She wouldn't have had to get welfare if the man was providing in his home, right? Because if a woman goes and gets welfare, that means nobody's giving her nothing. She don't have it, and she has kids that she has to take care of. And then everybody wants to call her a bum and her the loser, but the dad is absent, completely fucking absent out of the whole household. And nobody holds him accountable. So whenever that child messes up, whenever that child gets into it, it's always the mother's fault. Oh, you owe welfare, whoop 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 whoop. Y'all should be talking to the men, because if he was taking care of his kids, he wouldn't be on welfare. But at the same time, black women are the most educated in the US. Okay. And then we just go get bums. Like sometimes y'all pull them right out of jail. I watch Love After Lockup. I see how y'all, man, desperate, desperate. And I feel like, yes, it is natural to want to be in a relationship. I'm a Libra. Okay. Them 2 years when I called myself dating other, oh my God, like the stuff that y'all put up with, like literally, I ghosted both. It was two dudes. I ghosted both of them, changed my number, and dared somebody to show up at my house, because it's like, I'm not finna do. I'm not finna put up with that, and then being with my husband for so long, and then like him catering to me, like he brings me breakfast in bed, like he works for me. I haven't worked since last May. You know what I mean? Like he cleans up, he takes care of our kids. Like we don't have no gender roles in this house. We both do everything. You know what I mean? And so like, yeah, that kind of made me appreciate him even more because I'm like, damn, if I really had to be out here looking for somebody, it's going to be hard to find somebody like this because he really loves me. You know what I mean? He really takes care of me. Like nobody else is going to do that. And when I really sat back and looked at it, I'm like, Jessica, you lightweight spoiled. Like he spoils you. Like chill out. But I just wasn't going to deal with the disrespect. You feel me? And so now that we have an understanding, honestly, like no bullshit, the arguments that we've had have been so minute, like stupid shit. Like you forgot to take the clothes out the washing machine. Oh my God. Like stuff like that. Like I actually appreciate our arguments now because they are so small because we have a mutual respect for each other now. Do you see what I'm saying? But those 2 years, I cried myself to sleep damn near every night because he's my best friend. But I couldn't allow him to treat me like that. I couldn't allow him to just keep running over, you know what I'm saying? Like gambling, like spending up money and then I have to cover it. Or like there was a couple times when we were younger, we were like in our 20s, but there was a couple times my dad had to pay our rent because this nigga was out here gambling. You feel what I'm saying? Like, no, after a while of putting up with that and then having money and then not having money and then not, and then, hoping that he's going to work and not, my sister used to call it the boom boom room. She'd be like, girl, you better make sure he at work and not at the boom boom room. Cause that's what we used to call the card room. But yeah, like serious. I done been through some stuff, but he's never disrespected me. I ain't never had no woman come to me as a woman. I ain't never felt the need to look at his phone. Like we check each other's phones. Like there's no suspicion. There's no reason for me to. So I'm not gonna start looking for stuff because I don't feel like anything is happening. But you have to teach people how to treat you though. I say that to say teach people how to treat you. Because who knows where we would be if I just didn't give a damn about myself and I'm just like, okay, well, I'm gonna go take out a loan so we can pay our rent. And like, no, no. And like, he has an understanding now. Like, no, he understands. And he understands that I have no problem with being alone. For real. Because honestly, after I like was sitting here and got used to it, it was peaceful. I could sit here and eat and fall asleep and be ugly in peace. Okay. Like, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to go into that. Older women, if you're gonna talk shit, have a solution, okay? Because honestly, y'all generation failed us too. And honestly, to keep it real, segregation wasn't all that bad. And I feel like since y'all wanted to just be so a part of something so bad, I don't know why y'all wanted to be so a part of something that was not meant for you. Now we're in the middle of this, and this is what we're dealing with. Like, there's no more villages to raise a child. All the family members is talking shit about each other. This person don't like that person. This person stole from that person. Like, it's like your family ain't no different from a broad up the street. You know what I'm saying? Um, I just feel like when you don't hold people accountable or you just bullshit with people, you're not doing yourself a favor. Like you messing over yourself. But for real. You know what I mean? And then when you think about it, y'all don't even vet these dudes long enough. Like it'd be a whole month and this nigga just got he got his spending the night back and everything and he ain't went home since. You know? And practice self-esteem for real, because I'm used to like the Libra in me feel sorry for y'all, but then the Scorpio moon come out, and I just be wanting to cuss y'all out. And I think my friends got a little bit of both today, because at first I was like, oh yeah, oh that's not cool, that's not cool, and then I was like, what do you mean you bought him a Harley for what? And he has two cars and you don't have either. You don't have no car. You're bumming for rides. Like, it's just certain stuff. Like, it's certain stuff that makes y'all look so bad. And y'all worried about looking bad to other people because you don't have a man. You look bad to us. You look just as bad to us when you're just scraping and scrounging around trying to put up with anything as well. Doesn't make you look any better. Like, you look desperate. I legit had to tell my friend, like, you're desperate. And she was like, excuse me? I was like, you're desperate. You're hella desperate. You put up with anything. And then you wonder why you just get treated like a doormat. And she couldn't even really say nothing because I'm like, you put up with it. And then, like, when she told me she never got anything from Valentine's Day, I'm like, because you don't require shit. What do you require? You do everything. The fuck? Like, whatever. But anyways, love yourself. And I think instead of our parents teaching us the shit that we really needed to know, like credit, self-esteem, um work ethic, emotional intelligence. Instead of them teaching us that, it was just religion, and you got to be married by 30, and you got to start your career, and you got to do this. And then you have those certain families that, they have a line of lawyers in the family, or a line of doctors, a line of police officers. So now you got to be a police officer so you won't be the disappointment in the family. You know what I mean? And it's like, instead of teaching us that, they taught us all the bullshit that don't matter, that nobody gives a fuck about anyway. Like when people used to ask you all the time, when are you going to have a baby? You know, and not me necessarily, but there's women out there that can't have babies, you know, like that's very insensitive for you to ask that. Or when are you going to get married? Or when are you and so going to get married? Maybe marriage doesn't work for them. Did you ever think of that? Does that make their relationship any more, and then they make it seem like if you're married, then the husband's going to be there and be a good husband and a provider. I know some husbands that are pieces of shit. Like, y'all out here telling them to get married. That ain't going to change nothing. And y'all was getting dogged back in the day too. Y'all just couldn't go nowhere. Like, for real, like it really gets on my nerves. Like when, oh, you not married, y'all need to get married, and you gotta have your baby by 30. You gotta have your career by this time. You gotta have this. You know what I'm saying? And people really follow that. People really still follow those traditions, and they get stressed out. And so you got women my age, that are just scrambling and scraping around at the bottom of the barrel for whatever man they can get because they got in their head that they need to be married by this time. Oh, I'm getting old. I'm getting old, girl. So now you stuck with old Mr. Leroy, who's a perv. He got money, but he treats you like crap, talks to you like shit. Um, yeah, your self-esteem is at an all-time low, but you got a husband though. Like, God. And men, nobody owes you shit. Nobody owes you shit. Get your ass up here and pull up your pants. And you see how all these other men around here, all these Asian men and Jewish men take care of their wives. I'm not gonna say they don't kill each other for insurance money. I'm not saying that doesn't go on in their community, but as a whole, they take care of their families. As a whole, y'all, I don't care. You can call me Cynthia G right now, but y'all don't take care of y'all families, and y'all be proud of that. Y'all see y'all homeboys not taking care of y'all kids. Y'all still kick it with them. And, it's like y'all don't have no standards as a man. A man to y'all is walking out here gang banging, having a gun, pumping fear in the streets. Like that's not a man. That has nothing to do with a man. And then half the time y'all doing shit to land y'all in jail so you can't protect your families. Like I knew a nigga that would be on Facebook every single day talking about how giving these long dissertations about, and we need to help each other, and got hella people in his comments, and he was a total piece of shit. Spent hella years in jail. You got 6 baby mamas, you got hella families out here that you didn't raise. You can't tell me anything, sir. And quite frankly, at your old age, I'm further in life than you. And I think that's what, that's the case in a lot of these cases. Like these dudes don't have nothing to offer you. That's why the dudes that really don't have nothing, like the thugs, the ones that you don't need, they got the best pipe because that's all they got to offer. He's literally giving you the best that he got. Like, y'all ain't ready for these conversations. Y'all really not, because it's always a one-sided conversation. It's always either the men need to do this or the woman need to do this. No, it's both. It's both because y'all both ratchet. It's not going to get anywhere if both of us don't, you know what I'm saying? But you have to learn, you have to not put up with the shit in order for it to stop. In order for it to stop, you have to put that wall up. Y'all accepting the shit and y'all mad. Stop being mad. Either stop accepting it or shut up and have his dinner ready. Like for real. Like y'all not finna do nothing. You ain't finna do nothing. What you finna do? Girl, please. Like y'all not, no. And men, nobody owes you nothing. Y'all act like some big ass babies. Like literally, it's a lot of men walking around here as man child. That y'all are just men children. For real. And that thing I said about abortion is not birth control. Stop having sex. Get on some birth control. Quit bringing people into these worlds and then being like, psych. Like, I don't even think y'all realize what y'all doing. Like, for real. And I'm not finna sit up here and have no pro-abort, all that old stuff. I said what the hell I said, and I'll say it again. Okay? There are exceptions, rape, incest. Okay? Those I totally understand. But just because you was irresponsible on a Saturday night, no. That's not a reason to kill the soul that you brought into this world. Like stop, okay? Abortion is last resort shit. Okay? That's not just oops, my bad. Let's go kill it. Like no, y'all treat it like y'all just going to buy a new pair of pants or something. It's disgusting. Okay. Whew. All right. I think I'm gonna sleep a little better tonight because I got that off my chest. But this is Jessica Ma'at, and you are watching Libra Scales TV. And please tune in next time. I'm so sorry that I haven't been here with you guys. I have been like doing a lot of things, and I really want to share with y'all what I have. But I'm a firm believer in not saying nothing until it's complete because people will pray against you. So it's hard for me to keep my secret, but yeah, I'm working on some things, all right? So hopefully I'll be able to get more consistent on this app. But I haven't forgot you guys. Welcome to my new subscribers, and to my old subscribers, welcome back. I love you guys. I'll be back a little later. I'm sorry, I'm at 44 minutes. I unloaded a lot on you guys because this has been on my mind for days, and like I had to. Tonight was the perfect night. So I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Next time I'll probably be on camera outside. I'm trying to have like different scenery, but right now I'm literally in the dark. So I'm about to go to bed. Love you. See you next time.